What's up guys, impaKt here. So I have to actually apologize for not going for a full-blown video this time. I'm going to be talking a little bit about my first impressions on Ardent Censer, which is supposed to be the new incoming or upcoming support item scheduled to be released next patch. And yeah, I hopped over onto the PBE server, gave it a try, actually streamed a few games. One of those games was this one. It was an Alistair game. So I do think I have a good grasp on how the item works, and I decided to share it with you. So right now I'm actually showing you guys some footage of one of those games. I still don't have the item right now, but I'll be able to get it soon. So yeah, in case you guys don't know, Ardent Censer is a new support item that you'll be able to check out on the left side of the video, and it pretty much gives you cooldown reduction, movement speed increase, mana regen, AP, and the cool thing about the item is that it actually gives people that you heal or shield 25% attack speed for 6 seconds. And in case you guys are wondering, yes, it does proc on Morgana's shield, yes, it does proc on Mikhail's Crucible, like if you're in Solari, it does proc on Karma's shield, AoE shield, it procs on Alistair's AoE heal, it procs on every single direct heal and shield that you may give, but it does not affect yourself, so you cannot heal yourself and get the attack speed buff. So it is not, you cannot abuse it in that sense. However, it can be abused. So let me just share my thoughts with you guys. So first of all, the item itself has some pretty cool stats, but the passive is what actually makes the item shine. So I was actually thinking about like the Ardent Censer, and I think it's the Essence Reaper, both items. I don't actually see a reason why Riot would implement those two items this patch. Actually, I don't see a reason why Riot should implement those items. They're good items, mind you. They're good ideas. I just think that they changed the metagame too much for those items to be added in the middle of a season. I don't think it makes a lot of sense, especially not with the stats that they currently give, especially Ardent Censer, which is the item that I'll be focusing on right now in this video. Because here's the thing, when you add an item like that to the mix, what happens is it's not just the supports that are picked right now that are going to get changed. So when you hear about the buff, you immediately think about Sona, you immediately think about Janna, Nami, all those supports that don't get a lot of love right now and don't get a lot of action in competitive scene. They are viable. But it's not just a matter of being viable, they just get borderline broken, especially the ones that have those types of skills but in AoE form. So for instance, if you think about, say, Leona or Gragas or other supports like that, all-in supports, they don't have a mechanism to actually proc the item unless they go for a Locket of the Iron Solari and Mikhail's Crucible. So they need multiple items in order for that to work. And even when it does, it has a huge cooldown. Now, do remember that the cooldown on that item is pretty much bound to the cooldown on the skill itself. So the item does not have a cooldown, your skills do. So it's kind of a problem because it can be spammable by a few supports. So for instance, in this game I go Alistair, and I start building cooldown reduction. So here's the funny part. When I build cooldown reduction on Alistair, I can pretty much just spam my heals. Every single time I have my heal up, the buff still hasn't ended. So I can just keep up healing and giving my carries and my whole team the attack speed buff. It just doesn't have a cooldown. Now you may say something like, okay, but maybe you'll run out of mana. Well, here's the thing. If you go Talisman and Ardent Censer, you'll have plus 20 mana regen. like as the stats are in the PvE. So it's not like you'll have a mana problem. So you can spam those abilities on those champions. So let's say, okay, so let's look at my previous top 5 support video on my own YouTube channel. So my top 5 supports, if I'm not mistaken, were Morgana, Thresh, Nami, Gragas, and Braum. So Braum doesn't have any skills like that can proc the item. Neither does... actually, and then you have Morgana that can proc the shield, so she'll be really damn good. Karma will be really damn good. Nami will be really damn good, but Thresh will have a huge cooldown. He will be able to proc the item, AoE even, but it will have a huge cooldown. And Gragas won't even be able to proc the item either. So the whole top 5 supports is going to change by a lot. Like if I had to make a top 5 support video right now, according to these stats, I'd probably choose Sona, Nami, Morgana, Thresh still, and something like, yeah, Sona, Nami, Karma, Morgana, and Thresh probably. So it changes a lot, but it's not even the problem. I do believe that the items just borderline broken, because it doesn't just affect the supports that you're gonna pick. It affects the whole metagame. It affects the whole everyone that is picking for other roles right now. So it can make Irelia's or Jax's even stronger. It can make auto-attacking junglers just borderline OP, like Nocturne. Like imagine a Nocturne getting shielded in the backline and then jumping onto the enemy's backline with 25% attack speed buff that will last 6 seconds. If you add that to something like Nami's heal, not only will he get the 25% attack speed for 6 seconds, he will also get the movement speed increase. So it kind of makes Nunu support completely useless, if you think about it. But it's not just one support is useless, it just makes it so that it's incredibly hard to deal with jungle Nocturne. And then you have the whole auto-attacking mid-laners as well, like Kayle will be even stronger. Hyper carries will get back to the scene in a big way because they'll have a freaking Phantom Dancer early on. It's not really a Phantom Dancer, but they'll get an extra item really freaking soon, as soon as the support gets the item, which isn't that expensive. It's like 1950, if I'm not mistaken. So it's not expensive. It's a really cheap item that grants too much freaking utility. Also, supports that have, I can understand giving those kind of stats to supports that have single target abilities. So like, let's say you give the stat as a Janna, for instance, to your AD carry with the shield. I guess it's fine. I still believe the 25% attack speed is really, it's too much. I think it should be closer to 20%. But the real problem is when you think about the supports that have AoE effects. Earlier I mentioned that my top 5 supports would be Sona, Nami, and whatever. I totally forgot about Alistar. Because Alistar can get pretty damn broken. It's not just... I do believe that it's about time that Alistar got some love, but he just gets broken because he simply gives his team non-stop 25% attack speed. So there are a few things that I think Riot could do in order to balance the item. So the first of all is to actually reduce the attack speed buff on even single target spells. I do believe that 25% is way too much and will change the metagame in a way that is too freaking drastic. At least for now, because it is the middle of the season. And then I think another choice would be to add something. It's not actually diminishing returns even, because it can be spammable. So either give the item itself a cooldown or just add some sort of diminishing return system in which supports would actually the whole team would get less attack speed if the support just decided to spam an ability and give the entire team the attack speed buff. And I do also believe that the item should be a little more expensive, or Riot could even change the stats or the percentage of attack speed gained when you use a single target spell and when you use an AoE spell. So for instance, if you are playing Janna support, right, just the shield can give like 20% attack speed, because I do believe that 25% is way too much, but let's say they stick with 25%. So Janna's shield will give an ally 25%, and it will have the diminishing returns and whatever. On the other hand, let's say Alistar. Alistar, it doesn't make a lot of sense that Alistar is able to give his whole team 25% attack speed, like non-freaking stop, if it doesn't have diminishing returns. So to me, it just doesn't make a lot of sense. I do believe that it's OP. So I do believe that AoE effects should have like not as impactful stats. So in order, just how do I put this? Instead of giving those abilities, those AoE abilities, the ability to actually give 25% attack speed to allies, give them something like 15%, 10%, something like that, without diminishing returns even. But yeah, I do have a few concerns about the item. These are pretty much my concerns. I believe the item is a good idea. I still believe that the item should not be added in the middle of the season, not even the Essence Reaper. I believe they are items that will impact the way the game is progressing. So I don't think it makes a lot of sense for Riot to add those in the middle of the season, but whatever, as long as they're properly balanced. And I'm a support player. I just don't think support should be this strong, because if you think about it, like with the whole hyper carry getting back to the scene, I'm pretty much calling it. Everyone will QQ about how OP the bot lane is and how strong the bot lane is. And I enjoy when the bottom lane is strong, but one thing is to be, I don't know, to feel powerful and to be able to carry games through your own skill, and being like abusing items and things that are just utterly broken. I just think it removes the fun from the game, and no one should actually want that to happen. So yeah, these are pretty much my thoughts. I hope I didn't drag it for way too long. These are 12 freaking minutes. Once again, I'm sorry that I didn't go for the whole video kind of thing that I usually go for. Didn't have a lot of time, still wanted to get this out there to you guys. And yeah, let me know what you think about these changes in the comment section down below. If you still haven't subscribed to the channel, please make sure you click the sub button. And yeah, make sure you check me out on Facebook and Twitter if you have something you'd like to share with me. And don't forget to check my stream as well at twitch.tv/impaKt. I'll see you guys next video. Peace out.